How we doing today?
Good. How are you?
Good. Have you
Great.
made a decision as far as Trevor, whether he's going to play or not on Friday?
I have made that decision, yes.
What's the decision?
Yeah, this week I'm gonna let the starters play. Get their feet wet a little bit in this football game. A couple series, nothing too crazy, nothing too long. But just want to get them the feel of the game and get them in there and get them working. In game situations.
How important is that for Trevor as far as his development in the offense to get those game reps?
Well, for him it's important, but also for the offense, right? I mean, it's a new scheme, got new faces, new people out there that he's working with, and new center. So just seeing all of it put together, and just want to have some crisp plays, some good execution, and try to score a few points and get them out.
Doug, is there anybody who I guess you would consider being on the first offense is still going to get held out? Like James isn't going to play. Robinson, he's not going to play, right?
No, James Robinson, yeah, or I should say yes. James Robinson, no, he's not playing. Going to keep Jamal Agnew out of this one as well. Laviska is still nursing an injury, so we're going to kind of give him a break this week, get him through this game and to next week.
And are you going to be able to play everybody in offensive line except for maybe Juwan?
Actually, Jawan will play. Yeah, we'll play, and him and Walker will rotate, with the offensive line, and it'll be good to get him back out there.
Travis, eager to see what he can kind of do in the game?
I am. We've seen a lot here in practice, but now put the get under the lights and roar the crowd and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it's a different feel, and that's why you do it, right? You kind of practice for all those scenarios, and he's one of the guys we want to see.
A couple physical practices to start the week this week. Did you feel the need to kind of increase that intensity after that Hall of Fame game?
No, it's just the way the schedule and the way I set training camp up. I mean, we follow the plan, we follow the schedule. It's just the way it is. We'll next week will be the same thing. We have a couple hard, long practices next week as well. Because we don't have pads on that much, and I want to make sure that we maximize those days and we're getting the most out of it. And again, the guys are doing an excellent job. Those two practices were great. We got good work in. Not perfect, we make the corrections, but it was good.
And what have you thought about Jamal Agnew and finally getting him on the field for some of those team drills? I know he won't play Friday, but what have you seen from him now that you're kind of getting to see him participate?
Yeah, I mean, I guess the biggest thing is just seeing where he is mentally with the system. He's heard it a lot. He hasn't had many reps with it, obviously. But it was good to get him back out and kind of get his feet wet, get popped a little bit. Him and Travis both last week. We had that one live day and tackle him to the ground, and it was good to get him out there. And he just another player. We just got to keep slowly progressing, and get him on to the regular season.
You hold your breath a little bit when Travis takes some of those big hits on Monday?
No, because I talked to him during this time of the day, and he was ready for the contact. He wanted to be hit, because it's been a while for him too, to be out there and be hit, and he enjoyed it.
What's your philosophy with that? Once a week in camp to go live during the season, be physical one day.
So my philosophy really is have 2 live type days in training camp. Obviously this past week to do it, and then I'll do one more next week. And really that's it from a live standpoint. The pads are on, it's all about fundamentals and working the details and being in position to make the tackle. We teach the ball carrier, receiver, tight end, whoever to finish their runs even when, tapped off by a defender. So, offensive guys need to feel the contact as well as the defensive guys making proper tackles.
Is that going to be Monday? For those who marking their schedule?
I think it's Monday. I think it is Monday. I think it is.
Saturday makes sense. Saturday, Sunday off, and then Monday.
Yeah. You know the schedule better than I do.
Hey,
I'm just worried about today.
Are you down a pass rusher? Jameer Jones, he okay?
He's fine.
Okay, he's fine.
Yeah.
Are you down with somebody else?
Ledbetter. He got nicked up in the practice the other day. He's going to miss some time. So he's the only one.
From your viewpoint,
And let me not rephrase, but let me add to that. BT Badara is another one that's going to miss, a little time here due to an injury.
from your viewpoint, is the defense a little bit ahead of the offense right now? Do you see it more as even? The way we see it might not be how you see it.
How do you see it? That'll give me the answer. So how do you see it?
I saw you see the defense a little
Usually,
bit.
I mean, honestly, usually the defense is ahead. It should be. It should be, right? I mean, offense, there's a lot more timing involved with the 5 offensive linemen and the running backs and making sure, pad levels on the same angle, that the offensive line is in, the quarterback's eyes, the timing, the details, the routes. There's just more timing things with the offense. So this time at camp, and really probably early in the season, usually, the defenses may have a little advantage.
Doug, you going to go Trevor than TJ?
Oh, yes.
Okay. And,
Yeah.
you want TJ to get a pretty good workload?
Yeah, again, don't need to see a lot from CJ, but I still want him, again, first time for him to be under, sort of a live scenario, other than the other day. But I just want to see him out there and see how well he executes the offense, and don't need to see a ton, but still want to see some time on the field.
Doug, I know about Tyson Campbell's mindset as a corner, but what have you seen the first couple of weeks out of him?
I've seen someone that's kind of growing into a leadership role, someone who's really developing his craft, honing his skill. He's playing with confidence. And those are all things that we need to continue to nurture in him. He's a young player. He's had a really good camp. It was really good to see in the Raider game. He got nicked up there early in the game and then wanted to go back. And so confidently, put him back in a football game where he can kind of work through that. And those are the things you're starting to see with him and how he's developing himself and turning into a leader on that defense.
So still no specific timeline for Devin Lloyd working his way back?
Not a timeline specifically, but a range. I mean, I'm hoping to get him through this week and maybe get him back on the grass next week. But he's doing well. You're seeing him in individual drills now, which is a good sign that he'll be back out there into full contact stuff probably next week.
A little off the subject, but do you guys, or have you used in the past, sleep guys, sleep doctors, sleep therapists in your life?
Yeah, I mean, I don't specifically deal with them, but we do get a lot of reports from some sleep doctors, and I leave a lot of that up to Ferg and Sed and the guys and some of our Mindy and all the nutritionists and people, sports science people. I kind of push them that way a little bit, but it is something that I'm very aware of, because I think it affects how you play and getting the proper rest in camp now, and obviously night before games, or if we're traveling different time zones, all that kind of stuff can impact how a player feels and how a player plays, coaches as well. So it's something that we pay quite a bit of attention to. Yeah, I mean, it's huge, and of course, the Jaguars have been over there many years and know how to handle it. So, again, I leave that up to the experts and let them tell me what to do.
Doug, how is Zay Jones playing for you?
I tell you, he's playing fast. He's explosive. I think him and Trevor have kind of built a really good kind of rapport. The connection there, kind of understand. They're working through some details of some routes and stuff, and just getting to know kind of body language, right, from a quarterback to a receiver. But Zay's done a great job in understanding our system, picking it up fast. He's playing fast, and again, another one that I'm, as part of one of the offensive pieces, looking forward to Friday night and playing.
Hey Doug, how hard is it to achieve consistency for a young defense? Foye said the other day, when they're on, but they have to figure out how to get on and stay on. How hard is it to find that consistency with the young players on the defense?
I mean, it just comes with reps, time on the grass, honestly, and that's the only way you can build the consistency, and then playing together. Obviously that's why these preseason games are so important. Even for a series or two or three in a game to just start that process. And this is that time of camp where for us, because we've already had a game, to really kind of, I think, find out who our 53 are going to be. And start putting those matchups together. Start building defensive packages or offensive packages where we're going to see guys in certain situations, and but it just comes with time on the grass, and that's the only way you can do it.
Even though your backup have best game of your life at times, particularly in games, pick up the stopping the run. How do you generally feel about the front seven you have and the depth you have behind it? Because it seems like it could possibly be the strongest suit on the team.
Yeah, I mean, on paper we've got the depth that we wanted, with depth that we need. You know, and that's another thing, because you're not game planning right now, so you're not game planning run schemes and run fits and formations and all that kind of stuff. You're just lining up and playing. But at the same time, you know, here in the next couple of weeks, that's something we'll have to figure out. You know, we got to get better at stopping the run. Obviously, they being the Raiders, rushed for almost 160 yards on us, and you know, that kind of stuff can't happen. You know, but we've got to flip it, right? We've got to be the team that rushes for 160, and you know, but again, that comes with time and development. These guys are learning new techniques and playing together for the first time, and you know, it just takes a little bit of time.
What was it about EJ Perry that made you want to bring him back?
He was with us all spring, you know, and we had time invested in him. You know, I thank Kyle for the couple weeks that he was here. He did a nice job for us while he was here, and wish him the best. But in EJ, we had a guy that we liked coming out of the draft, and brought him in here. He's a sharp kid, smart kid. He's healthy now and ready to go.
Doug, RDP, 2 sacks on Thursday. I've heard from some of my fellow reporters that were here Sunday. He really got after his guys today on Sunday after a lot of those physical drills. What have you seen from him from both a leadership and on the field point of view?
You know, he's one of those guys that we brought in as a free agent to really help kind of bolster our third down pass rush, you know, and maybe even some second down pass rush, getting after the quarterback. We saw that the other night, you know, against the Raiders, and that's what he can bring. And you know, he's a passionate player. He's been on a team that's in his past has been successful. He's kind of seen how it's done, and he wants to bring that type of leadership here to this football team. And I love it when guys like that take the reins kind of in a leadership role that way. You know, obviously he's doing it by example, you know, on the field, and obviously doing it, you know, by words. So if he continues that path, you know, he'll be fine, and we'll be a better D-line because of it.
Doug, is this the point of camp where you start to see the leaders of the team kind of develop and kind of show, stand out?
It is. You know, obviously it's still a little bit early in camp, but we're settled in now, you know, here, and yeah, you start seeing, you know, it's interesting because you start seeing a little separation, right, with some of the guys, and the ones that really kind of take the reins and lead by example, lead through grabbing their position group or grabbing the whole offense or defense, and you just need more of that. You know, you need guys that just really embrace it. You know, it's not about being perfect, you know, because we're not perfect out here. Guys are going to make mistakes, but at the same time, you know, we got to take ownership in it. We learn from them, and you know, this is that time. All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks, Coach.